What it do? It's your boy Seven from Adam back to you with another video. Hey, what we gonna do right now in this video is what I would like to call the top 5 Christian hip hop. And on this video, man, I'm gonna give you my top 5 Christian hip hop groups of all time. I mean, this is my list, my opinion of, my top 5 groups I feel like they have done it the best, put out the best material, more materials, stuff like that. And before I get into it, I want to explain to you that this is more of a 2-man or more thing. So you would not get groups like Soldiers for Christ, SLC, because it was mostly Suit the Chemist that was, doing the flows. And you won't get Freedom of Soul because it was mostly Peace. He was doing all the flows. And you get the drift. Not the one rapper DJs, type groups. I won't put them in this category. This is mostly 2 guys or more in a group, and they would have to have been put out an album that I have know of, because it's a couple of groups that I liked it, but they didn't really put out albums. So I will give honorable mentions, and let's get it. Coming in at number 5, we got LPG. Of course, y'all know LPG is the group that comes out of the Tunnel Rats, Journey Biz, and Drez. And these 2 guys was the energy they brought. They fed off each other. And they came with that heat in 95 with that Earthworm. Still one of my favorite albums of all time. I feel like it's one of the best albums to ever come out. And if I remember, I think they put out three albums. But they brought a very influential style into Christian hip hop. I mean, not just them 2, but the Tunnel Rats as a whole. But them 2 really just was like the ones that really just, brought it out with the LPG Earthworm album. And speaking of that, like, I would not have Tunnel Rats on this list too, because I looked at the Tunnel Rats as a crew. I look at crews and groups different. Like, to me, a crew is like G-Unit. G-Unit to me is a crew. And the 116 Clique, they are a crew. They're not a group. Same way I feel like the Tunnel Rats were, because they had groups inside of the Tunnel Rats. The Tunnel Rats was just a big crew, big clique or whatever. So that's why, I got LPG on this list, number 5. Coming in at number 4, we got the Gospel Gangsters. Now, I feel like these guys really get overlooked from a lot of people. A lot of people, they don't forgot about the Gospel Gangsters, or they don't know about them. But these dudes right here, originally they were called the Alliance of Light. When they came through on the SLC album, they was coming up under them when all of them crews with the Ida Kings and all the rest of them. They came under the Alliance of Light, and then when they finally dropped their first album, they switched their name to Gospel Gangsters. But man, when I tell you these guys brought that West Coast, like, they was coming with it. They was more like telling you testimonies, stuff that they went through, what they was experiencing, and their cultures. Of course, out there in Cali, you got the gang culture, and I think all these guys was affiliated with a gang, and they just telling you how, their life was like, and how they came up out of it, man. And their first album is classic, man. Like, if you haven't heard that Gospel Gangster first album, man, that album still to this day is like one of the best albums to ever come out. And that's why they got to be in the top 5, man. So my number 4, man, is definitely the Gospel Gangsters, man. Number 2 and number 3 might surprise a lot of people, because I don't really hear a lot of people putting these 2 in they list or whatever, quote unquote list. But my number 3 is Deep Space 5. Deep Space 5, man. These boys was, man, like on a whole nother level with the rhymes and the flows. They had that East Coast flow, like real deep. They put out, I think, 7 projects. Actually, I think 8. Well, if you want to count the last one, they did the 555 where they rapping over the some of Jay-Z 444 beats. They put that out like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But man, you got Cell Static, man, that come out of the Tunnel Rats. Syntax, he's still putting out, music. Sivion, like most of these guys, they're signed with Elect. I think Elect Records, man. They pretty much do solo albums now, man. But all these guys was like, these are what you call MCs. Like they take, the MCing skills serious. You know what I'm saying? So, man, special love to Deep Space 5, man. Like, if you ain't heard none of their projects, go back and listen to their projects, man. Like I say, they like a East Coast crew, man. A deep crew too. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 3, man. Number 2 is LA Symphony. Now I know some of y'all in Christian hip hop probably don't know who LA Symphony is, but oh my goodness, this is when the doggone Cali version of the Wu-Tang. D-Boy was so deep, man. Like, hey, man, like, I think they put out like 9 projects, man. So, like, they got some work together, man. So, like, LA Symphony, man, they was coming out, storming, man. I think they came out like in the late 90s, 99 or something like that, man. And they released, they came back. They actually had left and they came back and released the project back in 2014. But, man, LA Symphony was, man, like, kind of like Deep Space 5, man. Like, they had that, like, almost like a East Coast flow. Like, they kind of remind me of, like, a Souls of Mysteries or the Far Side. You know what I'm saying? Like, Souls of Mysteries or Far Side were from the Bay Area, but they had an East Coast type flow. It's the same thing I get with LA Symphony, man. And this is crazy because I'm just noticing my top 4 are West Coast groups, which I wasn't even trying to do. Like, LPG from Cali, the Gospel Gangsters. Now, Deep Space 5, I don't think they from out there, if I ain't mistaken. But, LA Symphony, they from LA, of course, LA. But, man, like I say, dope group, man. Dope group, man. But before I do my number 1, man, I definitely want to give some honorable mentions, man. Of course, you got, Dynamic Twins, man. Like, I loved them, especially that second album. I can't remember what was it called. Not Word to the Wise. I think Word to the Wise was the first one. I can't remember. But the second one they put out was my favorite album from them. But shout out to Dynamic Twins. Grits. Like, what Grits was able to do in CHH was amazing, man. Like, they went to a level that I didn't see a lot of people were going. Like, a lot of people say they heard, The Truth and Lecrae first, but I actually heard Grits first. Before I even knew anything about Christian hip hop, Grits was the first crew that I had heard about. So, shouts out to them. Hazakin could have easily been on this list. I still feel like they need to put out more projects. Like, that Theophany's album is definitely classic. I love Origins, the new album they just put out, classic. I feel like they're gonna be labeled as a classic. Hologetics was great, and Son of Man, like they got great albums. I think they take too long to release albums to me. Like, I wish they would put out albums a little more than what they do. But Hazakin could really easily be in the top 5, man. Shout out to Brutal for Eulogy, man. Like, Braille and the Lightheaded. Like, he's the only rapper I know that was successful with 2 groups, man. So shouts out to him. You know what I'm saying? Other than Cell Static with Tunnel Rats and Deep Space 5. But man, shout out to Brutal for Eulogy, man. They first 3 albums are very worship albums. Okay, they could easily be in the top 5 as well, man. So shouts out to Brutal for Eulogy, Lightheads. Future Shot, oh man, like, what can I say? Future Shot from Tunnel Rats. The Braids just didn't release an album with Ruslan and Belief, man. Shouts out to the Braids. Christ-centric, man. They can easily be up there. ETW, End Time Warriors, they could be up there. The Idol Kings could be in there, man. Shout out to them. Social Club, definitely, they could be up there. Man, like, I don't want to miss nobody, man. But, yeah, man, like, all of them, man. Everyday Process, Redeemed Thought. Oh, man, if they would have put out more projects, man, they probably could have definitely be up there, man. But they only did, one album, man. They had the mixtape with the Body of Christ. Corey Red and Precise. Oh my goodness. If they would have did more albums together. Wow. Resisting is Fertile was, man, like one of my favorites, man. Even the mixtapes they did, the Street Prophecies mixtapes, man, they could have easily been in my top 5, but they just didn't have enough product, man. And last but not least, ADF, man. Shouts out to them. All different flavor, man. Oh my goodness, them boys on the Mark of the East soundtrack, man. Shouts out to ADF, man. Like, if they would have did more stuff together, man, they definitely, cause they was in the zone at that time, man. Them and Corey Red and Precise was on a whole nother level. So shout out to ADF, man. Man, if I miss any of the groups, man, like, put them in the comments, man. If anybody I missed that you felt like should have, had recognition or whatever. But my number one, man, is self-explanatory. I mean, you probably should already know, hands down. The number one group, Christian hip hop group of all time, got to be the Cross Movement. I mean, what else can you say? What they brought to the game in 97 through 2007, them 10 years, man, was just unheard of. Like, they really changed the game up when they came out. Cause like people say, man, they weren't really dropping, people weren't really putting lyrical thoughts into they bars, man. It wasn't biblical driven, man, and they came with that. And when they had lyrical styles with it, man, like Ambassador and Fanatic was just, then you had Enoch and Crew Cordero, man. Like, each one of them had their different styles, man. So you really don't know, man. Like, they just was on a whole nother level at that time, man. So, man, they got it. Cross Movement is, to this day, is still like talked about. It's really like one of the most influential groups to come out, man. Like, there would be no Reach Records without Cross Movement. There would be no Lamp Mode without Cross Movement. No Christ-centric. A lot of the crew, man, Wrath and Grace. No, it wouldn't be none of these guys without Cross Movement, man. So Cross Movement got to be the best group of all time to come out of Christian hip hop, man. So, man, that's my list, man. If y'all have a list, put it in the comment section, man, and let me know y'all top 5. Which I know y'all 5 might be different from mine, man. But that's my top 5 Christian hip hop groups of all time. So, man, just let me know what y'all think, man. This 7 from Adam, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Show some love, man. Hit the like button, man. 1.